All right, looks like we're live. Hey, folks. So this is not really a true episode. This is just really just an end of year update and kind of logistical thing that I'm recording. Sarenth wanted to be here but couldn't. Just scheduling stuff. So we agreed, and I'm just gonna do this. I was actually supposed to do this Friday, and it slipped my mind with everything else I had going on. But I'm doing it now. So that's all fine and dandy. So anyway, updates. So I'm doing this now because uh, there really won't be time during our episode on the 26th, which is this coming Tuesday. Uh, Not our normal recording time, I know, but that's how these things go sometimes. We're recording our first real live ritual um, on the 26th. It is going to be our sacred storytelling ritual, which I'm going to read off the description for that we posted in the Discord because I know that not all of our listeners are on the Discord. So, hey everyone, this is what we have coming up in December Sacred Storytelling Ritual. This episode will come with a warning up front that viewing will count as participating, as listening to a story is active participation in it. The idea here is that we share stories over sacred drink and around a sacred fire. Whether these be old myths, new myths, personal experiences or anecdotes, or even, and most importantly, stories of the future. Things we wish to see, believe will and should be, and are using our collective might to bring to pass. Drinks need not be alcoholic to be sacred. So that's the ritual that we've got coming up at on Tuesday. We have several kind of surprise guests. They're not going to be necessarily a huge surprise, but we're quasi keeping it a secret. Anyway, it's not going to be just Sarah and I. There will be several people there with us, sharing stories and telling myths and all of that good stuff. Again, there will be a warning up front that, and along with this warning now, that viewing this episode is participation in this ritual because hearing a story, receiving it is participatory as much as is telling it in a different way, but it is still much the same, or is still participation just the same. Uh, so if you don't wish to partake, please don't feel any pressure. Like that's perfectly fine. Whether it be the recording on YouTube after or at the time of, if you need to bow out, etc., that's perfectly fine. Please don't feel any pressure, even if you've been a habitual listener to the show for forever. Like shit happens. We're not worried about it. And we'll catch you next time in January. Um, so regardless, the ritual will be longer than our normal episodes. We're anticipating at least 3 hours, although it might be less. I personally don't anticipate it will be more than 4 hours. But do want to give that kind of heads up front that there's several people, I should say, who will be there sharing stories. And as stories go, sometimes they go longer than we expect. And our episodes tend to run pretty long as it is. So I'm anticipating about 3 hours, but it could be a little longer, it could be a little shorter. Um, so we'll see how that goes, and we're going to be playing it by ear. That's how this kind of ritual is just going to go. It's not super timed. Um, Also wanted to say that while I recognize that solstice was on the 21st, and that's actually like longest night. The 26th will be my personal longest night vigil. I could not observe on the 21st because I work, but I will be doing my longest night vigil on the 21st. The episode will not run it will not be an all nighter. That is not a thing that's happening. Um, but it is very likely that I at least will be in the Discord in the after party for the majority, if not the entire night. Um, my vigil involves lighting a fire from just before sunset all the way through sunrise. So, with someone being awake to tend that fire the entire time, we'll see if I get a nap. Usually I don't, but either way, doesn't bother me much either way. So, regardless, I will be awake all night and will likely be on the Discord for most of the time after the episode, if not all the time. We'll see how that goes. So, if folks want to jump in, obviously very welcome. That said, oh yes, and the other thing going on with that ritual is we have created a special channel in the Discord for sacred storytelling. This channel will be open through January 31st, and starting on either at midnight on January 31st or sometime during the day on February 1st, we will be locking that channel, and it will be moved into an archive. It will still be visible, but no one will be able to edit that channel after that point. And that channel and those stories will then be preserved for the entire length of the Discord, so that folks who are not telling stories as part of the live ritual can still participate in that sacred storytelling as much as they want to. We actually already have several stories that are in that channel, and they're beautiful. Thank you, everyone who has participated so far. Genuinely, they're wonderful stories. I'm so glad that you have chosen to share them with us and that you are participating in the sacred act of telling these stories. Thank you. They are wonderful, and I'm so honored that you have chosen to do that. Uh, Moving on just a little bit. Speaking of our January, in January, our recording time will be changing. Part of the reason that we're recording on the 26th instead of on the first Tuesday of the month like we normally do is both logistical reasons for kind of the ritual and everything, but also my work schedule is very much insane right now. It's changing pretty frequently. Hey, Destiny. Yes, the stories have been very good, and thank you for hopping in. Nice to see you, even though this is really just an updates episode. But regardless, yeah. I actually tried to do this as a just a pre-recorded thing, but StreamYard did not like it at all, and I could not actually export it to be a video on YouTube just from a pre-recording. So I'm doing it live anyway. The My work schedule has been quite insane, and will continue to be. It's a pretty evolving situation with staffing changes that have been going on. Work volume changes have been going on in my lab, and all of that. My current work schedule is changing quite a bit. It looks like, at least for January, I will be getting off of work at 7:30 p.m., which is obviously past when we normally start recordings, and then I've got an hour commute home. So that's not really an option. So we are moving our recording time for January to 9 p.m. Eastern time. That will be January 2nd at 9 p.m. Unless that changes, I don't think it will, but there's an off chance that it will change, but that should be it. Because that is the first Tuesday of the month in January. Excuse me. So, that's at least when we'll be recording in January. After that, my schedule may change once again. I literally got an update. I've been getting schedule updates pretty much every day I've been at work this week. So, we're going to see how that goes. It is very likely that it will stay at 9 p.m. Eastern on the first Tuesday of the month, but that may have to change. I will know when I know, and I will let Sarenth know. We will figure it out, and then we will let y'all know as soon as we know. It's possible that we'll have another one of these update episodes, non-episodes, when we know what's going on with that. It's actually easier for Sarenth as well to manage a 9 p.m. stream time than it is to manage a 7 p.m. stream time. And with my work schedule changing, again, it is much easier for me to be up later than it was while I was in my internship, when I had to be at work at 7:30 in the morning or earlier, again, with that hour commute. So it was a time. Anyway, that's all done, and we're kind of moving on now. So regardless, this is kind of where things are going, at least for now. Another update is the Patreon is officially closed, at least temporarily. It still exists, but it is on full hiatus. Truth be told, cards on the table, Sarenth and I were not really good about keeping up with it. We just weren't. We didn't check it very often. And actually, at the time that we closed it, which was a little while ago, we didn't even have any subscribers, which is perfectly fine. Like, obviously, people are not under any obligation to support us. Financially, we appreciate people just tuning in. That said, we want to make sure that we're fulfilling our obligations and our responsibilities to anyone who is financially supporting us. So we are working on reorganizing the Patreon to both suit the needs and the desires of the community, and also to be things that we can actually do and keep up with. So if you have thoughts on that, please reach out either through the email or the Discord. The email is 3pots@gmail.com. Let me double check that. Yes, I believe that's correct. Or no, it's 3pagansontap@gmail.com. Sorry, 3pagansontap@gmail.com is the email. Discord is going to be slightly more reliable, but we do check the email. So, if you've got thoughts, any things you want to see for the Patreon, please let us know. We're also working on rearranging some of the back end stuff so that we can, put Three Pagans on Tap out on not just YouTube, but also out to, Spotify and other podcast places, so that we can get kind of more people easier access to us if they would like it. That's actually a thing that's been requested in the Discord. So we're working on it. It's very much a work in progress, moving from these live streams and getting them edited to audio files that can then be put into those services is something that I am very much learning, and I don't have a ton of time right now to work on that kind of back end stuff. That's part of why we do live streams, is because there's not a lot of back end editing and things that we have to do. We also just genuinely like the live stream format, but also it does make the back end work a lot easier for us. And so learning how to do that is a thing that I'm working on. But yeah, that's the thing that we're hoping to get accomplished in 2024. We'll see how it goes. We will have updates when we have them, both for the Patreon and for live streams hitting other places. Updates to the schedule, updates to the Patreon, updates about the ritual. Guests in 2024. We don't have any currently scheduled. We very much obviously want to have more guests on, and there's actually several people that we're looking at having on, and there's several people that we are looking at having back. We haven't sent out any official invites or anything yet. That won't come until January. January is likely to be just an update episode with me and Sarah, though there might be a guest. We'll see. If it is, we won't know probably until day of. But we'll see how that goes. But we will be sending out invites come January and throughout the year. So we will be trying to have people on. If you would like to have be on as a guest, if you would like to see someone else on as a guest, if there are topic suggestions, anything you want Sarah and I to tackle, please, again, reach out to us on the Discord, reach out to us via email. We would love to hear from you. We would love to, reach out to any guests you would like to suggest. If you want to come on, talk to us. We'll try to find a day. We'll figure stuff out. And we'd love to tackle any topics that you would tackle. Live streams. They're great. Anyway, we would love to tackle all of that as y'all think of it. Yeah, as we come into the end of the year, with the logistics of the ritual, we wanted to make sure that we kind of got these updates out. And with how busy everything is and everyone is, Sarenth couldn't even really make it work before the ritual or in a realistic time after the ritual. So we just talked about it, and I'm just going to do this update myself. So, I was actually supposed to do it Friday, didn't get to it because I was slam busy and it slipped my mind, honestly. But I'm doing it now. That's kind of how things are. It's the holiday season. We should all give ourselves some grace. But yeah, I believe that's all the updates. Changing schedule, ritual, Patreon, recording places, guests, and topics. I believe that's everything. So, from us both here at Three Pagans on Tap, you know, happy holidays. I hope that you are finding the light in the dark and the warmth in the cold. I hope that you have enough of both and that you are sharing what you can with who you can and who you wish. I hope that things are as happy and joyful for you as they can be. It's a scary, often horrifying time to be in this world, and finding the joy where you can is important because, well, it's important, and for a lot of reasons, not least of which is that that's how we keep fighting to make the horror stop. So, from us here at Three Pagans on Tap to all of you, whether you are listening to this live or pre-recorded, I wish you the best. I hope that your holidays are wonderful, whether they be secular or religious. I hope that things are as good as they can be. Yeah. Thank you, Destiny. Happy holidays. Yeah. Pack warmness and keep us all. Thank you all, and I will see you on Tuesday.